Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is the second video we are offering for chapter 1, I'm sorry, in our course electronic business اللي هو الإدارة الإلكترونية للأعمال. The chapter title, as you see here, Introduction to Electronic Commerce, we gave in the previous lecture definition of e-commerce and e-business, differences between them. These are the slides we flipped in the previous lecture. .com companies, we gave examples, and the types of electronic commerce categories. As we see 5 ones here, and we said that these 2 are the main ones. And then we talked about electronic support of business process, and this is the essence of our course. Our course is about identifying and having and selecting or concentrating on specific business processes, right, and supporting them electronically. So we have processes like these ones, purchasing or materials and labor transformation into finished goods. This is production, right? And other examples like this, and turning them into electronic systems or using electronic systems to support them. And this is the essence of e-business and e-commerce. Then we give some history about e-commerce, the main 2 waves of the history of e-commerce. And the last thing we introduced was that table that I recommended that you study from the text. It shows the differences between first wave and second wave along some important dimensions. We start our lecture today by talking about what product, what business may be more suitable for economic commerce and what are not. So we have some notes here that says whenever you have products that need some physical experience, physical examination or something, يعني حاجة أنت تشوفها بعينك وتلمسها بإيدك, then electronic commerce may not become favorable here. For example, if you are talking about medical care, so doctors need to examine patients, right? So we cannot provide e-commerce system for medical care. However, there are systems that try to do doctors work, but it won't be the same like visiting a doctor. Okay. Another example is selling commodities. You know commodities, of course. Commodities are basic products that usually used as input for producing another products. It's like materials. It's like raw materials or something. It's like sugar, like wheat, like wood. All these are commodities items. They are standard and well known, and they are not distinguished by some brands. If they got distinguished by some brand names or logos or something, then they are they may not be as classical commodities, right? And then they can be introduced using e-commerce systems. Also, as well, how such products will be shipped. If shipping is very costly for such products comparing to their value, so then e-commerce system might not be the best choice for them. And if you are buying something with $1 and shipping may cost 100, then it's not a good idea to have them e-commerce. It's a good idea to have brand products on e-commerce because everybody know the brand, and a brand is a promise to provide some quality and service, and some features, right? So you buy them from the internet without risk or without fear. Of course, what's very good and suitable for products suitable for e-commerce, whenever you have some varieties and you are introducing big selection, you are offering varieties. So this slide shows, I will give examples of our main notes about what product processes are suitable for e-commerce. I think we will have a table or something. Yes, a table that shows, and I'd like you to study this from the textbook, that shows what products well suited for e-commerce and what might be in the middle, and products that are should be introduced traditionally, not using e-commerce one, and examples for them. The following point that we will talk about in this lecture is the advantages of electronic commerce, and advantages should be classified into three types of advantages: advantages for the sellers, advantages for the buyers, and a third one for society. For sellers, of course, it is more profitable to use e-commerce system than selling physically, and it decreases cost, and maybe higher profits because of low cost we have here. Low cost because many of the cost items that are needed physically, such as dealing with wholesaler, retailers, outlets, and all this stuff may not be needed in e-commerce systems. Also, you get your products introduced, exposed, published for millions of people. You don't have this advantage if you are selling physically only. You are limited to some physical location, and people may be close to this location or are able to access such location. While being online, that ease millions of people to watch what you're doing. For buyers, of course, there are many advantages. For buyers, e-commerce systems give them more opportunities. They enable them to compare between all the providers or suppliers of products. It's easier to negotiate prices, increase speed and information exchange accuracy of them, and it will be written down there or using voice or whatever. They will get wider range of choices, and they can customize whatever they want exactly as they want. So these are examples of advantages of e-commerce for sellers and buyers. For society, of course, that would lower cost for society. For example, it can be used for electronic payment, fines, taxes, tax refunds, all these e-government can be done and be good thing for societies and countries. Also can be used for public retirement, welfare support. These are examples of systems that are used for societies. They can provide secure and quick internet transmission. Even fraud and theft, they have systems to protect societies and citizens from such crimes, although they are there, but there are some countermeasures and tools and systems for protecting people from such crimes. They reduced commuting from one place to another, right? So this will be good for traffic and for pollution. Products and services available in remote areas can be viewed and shopping for such far areas. So these are examples for advantages of societies. We have, of course, on the other side, disadvantages. Um, uh, they are very limited actually, and one example is that it's not preferable, or it's not suitable, maybe not suitable for perishable foods, high cost items, unique items, luxurious items. Those are products that you need to examine by yourself, and for perishable foods, you need to take care whenever you are handling such things. Also, the textbook here says that such disadvantages will disappear whenever e-commerce are advancing, getting mature, and better systems are there, and we witness this more one day after another. Uh, a long time, systems become more reliable, and you can depend on systems for buying and selling and doing transactions. And people become more willing to use them more and more. Even online grocery are becoming nowadays, maybe in Europe and in the States, not maybe not in Egypt, but they became nowadays one important thing that people may use, online grocery. There might be problems concerning our disadvantage for electronic commerce, problems concerning calculating return on investment. If you are designing and implementing a system, e-commerce system for a company, it's not easy to calculate how profitable such systems are. So recruiting and retaining specialized employees, this is another problem. So having specialized IT persons that can do the job, it's not easy. Technology and software issues as well. What systems might be used? How can we have technical features suitable for our products and our customers? These are issues that need to be tackled whenever you have systems like this. Cultural differences, especially for customers. If you have different customers from different countries, so you may find different cultures dealing with them. We will talk about cultural differences in the end of this chapter. Also, as well, you may find consumers resist dealing with electronic media. Some people, and maybe you one of them and me one of them, still prefer to use the mall, go to the shop, talk to the seller, right? Listen to the music in the shop, right? Enjoy being there with people, real people, not doing them on the internet. There is a big difference socially and psychologically, having learning classically in classrooms than having them online, right? We enjoy having them on classes. So you may find resistance to such system because of these human issues. Also, as well, if you are doing business, e-commerce business across different countries for multinationals, you will find different laws you are dealing with them. In time of problems, laws, which laws may be applied whenever there are disputes or something. So that was the disadvantages of electronic commerce. The following point is about merchandising and sales skills. Merchandising is about introducing or having a nice outlet and place for customers providing them with enjoyable environment in the store. Right, it's called merchandising. How especially retailers organize their shop or their store or different areas that customers visit, right, in order to attract them and make them love the place and give music and nice smell around the place. So it's part of giving them a nice marketing experience. It there is something behind that, is that customers, they don't come really to buy only, they come to enjoy themselves, right? So merchandising is the issue or the tool or the way that they do to meet such need in consumers. The definition of merchandising is store environments that help convince customers to buy uh, by using nice store design, a good layout, product display, knowledge, and so on. Yeah. Also, as well, um, stores and shops and all these places that customers visit and would like to enjoy the experience of visiting the place needs good salespeople, right? Yani, we may visit some place because we like the salesperson there, right? They talk nice and they give us advice, right? And we become friends, especially if it is a service. Especially if it is a service. Yani when I go to the mechanic, I don't consider myself going to the mechanic. Actually, I am visiting Ashraf. Ashraf is my mechanic that fixed my car actually. So because I enjoy sitting there in his workshop, right? So this is a salesperson people's skills, identifying customer need, find products or services meeting needs, and so on. We are introducing these two activities here to tell you in our lecture that these two things are better to be done physically, not electronically. They are difficult in practice to be done remotely, as the notes say here. So e-commerce is not as good as in the physical world. However, we see systems that try to provide merchandising, try to make salespeople available online for people whenever they have a question, whenever they would like to inquire or somebody to help and so on. Yeah, but it's not the same like in physical touch, of course. Yeah. So transferring merchandising skills to the web is not easy. So it's an issue actually in e-commerce. That was merchandising and sales skills. The second point, or the next following point, is the economic forces of e-commerce. What economics say about e-commerce? They say in here they provide advantage for companies because of two forces actually. Okay, because they flatten organization and they decrease transaction costs. Let's introduce the first one, flattening organization. This is the classical pyramid, right? We studied in year one the course, classical course, principle of management. We have this hierarchical organization structure, right? If you are using e-commerce, organizations tend to be flattened like this. How flattened? By eliminating some of the mid levels here, right, and by stretching the operational layer or tier in that pyramid. Why are they? Why are mid levels eliminated? Because you have e-commerce system, e-business, I'm sorry, system, and whenever you have electronic system, middle levels are not as needed as in the physical world. Why? Because what they do is that they transfer information from top to the bottom and bottom up, right? So if you have system, you don't need this information transformation activities, right? So usually they got redundant, they got not fired, but we can say downsized. And then you need more people in the first level, actually, because they are the ones who are doing the work. You need more support and more people talk to customers and external areas. So e-commerce systems enhance organizations by the flattening of structures, and they make it more flexible. It makes the higher level closer to the lower levels in organizations. This is what I said. It is something complex, vertically integrated manufacturing assembly. This is an example, actually. And in this example, we have the top level and the operational level in the bottom, right? And all these organizations are doing transactions with, they buy and sell. So they buy from clothes from different areas, as you see here, and they sell them to somewhere else, right? And the middle level here, they transform information top down and bottom up, as we see here. So whenever you have system, you have better monitoring, better efficiency activities, and you need less people in the middle level here. The second force, economic force, is that it enhances transactions, and it decreases transaction costs because they turn activities into what is called electronic markets. So all costs that we have in buying and selling, concerning gathering information and initiating purchase and sale transaction, brokerage fees and sales commissions and cost of all these are eliminated. That would decrease any transaction cost, right? If you have an e-commerce system, you eliminate this or you decrease such items because they are there electronically. So why paying money for that? So e-commerce decreases transaction cost of market activities in general. So these are the two important forces that give advantage for those who have e-commerce from economic perspective. The last point we have in our chapter here. We're still talking actually about such e-commerce reduced transaction costs. They enhance flowing of information. They provide what is called network economic structure. Okay, instead of serial transaction from one point to another and then from another point to another, it's like a chain. They provide what is called a network. A network, it's like having different nodes, points, and they are connected together here. So are formed between companies to coordinate their strategies, resources, and skill sets through strategic alliances and partnership. One good advantage of e-commerce system is that it enables you to form alliances and make other suppliers and customer work as if they are partners with you, because systems enable them to see your activities, see and participate and get involved in your activities right immediately. So partnerships get enhanced and become like a business network. There is one important term called here network effect. The more the participants for network, the more value it has. This is against the diminishing returns economic law. You had in our course in the year 1 principles of economics what is called diminishing returns, تناقص الغلة. It's a قانون, it's a law that whenever you increase some production resource, right, the return decreases. يعني let's say it in Arabic. كل ما بتزود عائد انا اسف عامل انتاجي معين، كل ما بتقل العائد بتاعه. يعني the classical example, the more you eat, okay, if you are hungry and you ate something, then you get satisfied, and then if you ate more, then you get sick, right? So there is a curve for that. If you went to the top of your satisfaction, then a decline will happen. This doesn't happen, this low, the diminishing thing here doesn't happen in the networks. The more participants in a network, the more return you have, right? Even if they are unlimited increase in the participant of the network. يعني كل ما تزود في السيستم كل ما كان في عائد. القانون بتاع تناقص الغلة doesn't apply here, doesn't apply. See the telephone network for example. The more subscribers او participants في نتورك معين كل ما كان افضل. يعني الشبكه اللي فيها 5 مليون افضل من اللي فيها 1 مليون، right؟ اللي فيها 1 billion افضل من، right؟ the more increase in customers, the better you are dealing, the better returns you will have. This is called network effect. That was the last point we have in our chapter 1. It's about introduction to e-commerce. Thank you.